Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to review stuff that my wife doesn't care about, the Tesla full self-drive. It is 10.5. Is it 10.5?
I thought it was 10.51, but...
Oh, now you're just messing with people, because she has no idea. But so, I know that a lot of you guys have been asking what's some of the appeal of the Tesla, and like with the CNN thing out there, you probably want to see what's going on. So, as we teach our cars to drive, this is where we're getting to, and I think that soon enough, based on the progression, because I was 10.3, 10.4, and now going to be at 10.5, based on that progression, I think that we're going to be removing that fancy student driver sticker. Now, for those of you who are just joining the channel, this is my Tesla Plaid. It is a 2021 Plaid, Model S Plaid. It has the full self-drive, has all the fun stuff to it. And I just downloaded the new update, so this is going to be a test with the new update. I have not experienced it yet, but I can tell you where the flaws were on the previous one, and we'll see if it does better there. So we just got it. It's a 10.5. It's a full self-drive beta. The full self-drive feature toggle has been disabled. To use it, re-enable. Yay! And then I guess there's a new review and updated terms. Beta suspension, maximum safety and accountability will not operate if improper usage is detected. And let's see, then it basically goes over like the improvements, you know, and press the video record button on the top to share your feedback. Pretty much all the same. What they're talking about for the button is that guy. If something goes down, I'm going to be hitting that guy. And now I'm going to set you guys up so you can see what I see. Oh yeah, I gotta enable it. That's right. So autopilot, full self-drive, cabin camera is used. This is different. Here we go. Ideally, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. You should be able to see the screen. You should be able to see both screens, I hope. And I'm going to activate autopilot. We're going to say work and see how it goes. Okay, so it's not taking the best of paths. It's just like in the middle of the road here. This one was a tough one because we're in a development. It's not really mapped out too well, I guess. But one of the things that the previous one did here is it would really encroach, make that left-hand turn and be in the left-hand lane while doing it. This 10.5, it looks like it's trying to get it, but in its effort to creep forward, it's still got some room, but it's gonna go. Okay, fun stuff. We're off. It seems like there's a good improvement there. It's not perfect yet, so I am gonna send a report about that. As some certain cars will go by here, sometimes we get some phantom braking, no phantom braking, so that's good. So far, so good. I'm seeing a little bit of an improvement, and ideally that's what we're looking for. We're looking for incremental improvements here. I mean, it would be great if it could just go to the end game where it's true full self-drive, but we're not there yet. It is definitely progressing just as a child would, and that's what we're doing here. A little unsure of itself at that moment. Not sure what that was about. Maybe I missed something. Okay. So we're creeping forward, verifying nothing's coming, and we're off. Now up here there's some construction things, and sometimes it would hit the brakes, and no, we're not hitting the brakes. That's cool. It kind of kept itself to the left a little bit, but overall it didn't do anything. Now for those of you who are wondering, we are in full self-drive. You'll see me hit the steering wheel a little bit because you have to do it. The unfortunate thing is with the Tesla Plaid, that's yoke, steering wheel, full self-drive doesn't really like lend itself to keeping your hands on the wheel at all times. It's actually a little bit on the more violent side, especially going around like a slow turn when the steering wheel can move at a very fast pace. So plus and minuses, I suppose. The plus is I'm not really doing any driving. I'm just tapping the steering wheel at the moment, but I'm keeping a good lookout for anything going on. Definitely want to make sure that things are good. So here it would normally get into the left lane pretty hard. It would cross the line, the yellow line, and right now it's not doing that. So that's a pretty big improvement. It didn't really make the decision very fast to go left, but major improvement from 10.4. I can tell you that right now. Definitely a major improvement. Really happy about that one. So I hope you can see it right here and everything outside. There's a pretty sharp turn that's coming up. And again, this is one of those things with the yoke that it's like, Jesus, take the wheel. And check that out. It does a really great job. Really great job. And then another turn, immediate turn coming right back up. Look at that. It was pretty smooth. It's not as smooth as a human driver, but definitely smoother than the previous version, which was 10.4. Okay, so as we get up to this intersection, sometimes the car will put its left-hand turn signal on to go straight, or what should be straight, and if it does that, okay, there's a car there, so I'm going to actually disengage Autopilot. I've disengaged Autopilot in order to turn the turn signal off because I don't want to confuse anybody. I know this is technically a left-hand turn, but it wasn't the left-hand turn of the intersection, so we're going to report that one as well. But that's been the case, so I know to look for it, and I know the logic that it's using. Even though the navigation system doesn't say left-hand turn, it basically says go straight. I know that the car believes it is making a left-hand turn. It's funny because it will, put the turn signal on roads where you don't need to put the turn signal on, but I do find myself putting the turn signal on in the same spot just out of habit. Yeah, so it's kind of cool seeing that it's making decisions like sometimes I would make, but that one wouldn't be one of them. Gonna tell the car to go back to home, so we'll see how it does here. We're gonna make a right-hand turn. Looks like follow that car. I haven't named my car anything other than car. I'm gonna go. It's just, I don't know about you guys, but I find this really cool how it can do this. I don't know if you guys can see my hand right here, but I am kind of like nudging it and getting ready if like something's about to go down with a car coming, that it's there and ready to rock. And so far so good. This car's handling things very nice. It's, for the most part, it's very smooth. Definitely an improvement over the previous version, and it seems fairly confident. I don't know that it's fully confident yet, but that's probably a good thing. We're gonna make a right and no turn signal. I know that was more of a left than this is a right, I suppose, but I think that one of the things that needs to be worked on is that if it's telling you to go right, that it, you know, you put your turn signal on. I'm going to take a little detour here because there was another issue with the turn signal on 10.4 that I imagine is not gone now because we've seen stuff popping up. But I'm going to make a left-hand turn. What the oh, that guy was in the other lane. Do you see it? Turn. What the oh, that guy was in the other lane. That guy was in the other lane, and it slowed down and went off the road a little bit to as like an emergency maneuver. So that was interesting. That was very interesting. That was really interesting. I didn't see that coming. Okay, so up here we're gonna make a right-hand turn, and then we'll see if it puts on the turn signal for the wrong stuff. It's basically finding the right area to creep. And I guess it found it, and away we go. So, somebody... Okay, we got a turn signal on, but we're clearly going straight. This is an issue. You see that? Like, it's clearly going straight. I don't... And we're stopped in the middle of the... I had to actually hit the accelerator there, but... Okay, so for that one, because the roads are offset, I think that it had a hard time, like, distinguishing certain things. And then it stopped at the next stop sign, which, that's just really weird. So, I reported that one. Okay, we are coming up on a roundabout. Again, we're going to let Jesus take the wheel here and see what kind of decision-making process happens. Okay, we're going. And we're off to the races, and we've exited the proper way. Nice job, Tesla. Good job. So one of the things that I've run into before is on this final turnish before my development, it comes in kind of hot, and I'm curious if it's still going to come in a little hot. I had to take control on 10.4 if there's a car sitting here, and there's no car here, so we'll let it ride. And that was actually pretty good. We might have crossed the yellow line just a smidge, but it was a pretty good turn. I gotta admit that seems like an improvement, because it come in, you know, pretty hot before. So what we're definitely seeing is incremental improvements here. I don't feel any steps back at this point. Not to say that there aren't, but with my first drive with the 10.5, it seems so far so good. definitely getting on the brakes a little bit hard right there. Of course, right as I'm saying that, I don't know, there's new construction going on, but overall seems pretty good. It seems to hit that little speed bump guy right there every single time, and well, it did it again. So here we are pulling in, and we are on my street safely, so that's pretty cool. Disable autopilot and park this bad boy. I definitely disengaged at some points, but there was no emergency disengagement. Like, even though there were cars coming and stuff like that, and it might not have been perfect, it is definitely improvement over the previous one, and I'm happy to report that I didn't have an accident. In fact, I don't know that there would be an accident. I think that if I was drunk at a bar, this thing would get me home. It might get me pulled over for putting the turn signal on at the wrong point or not putting it on at the right point. But for the most part, this bad boy has improved quite a bit from when I started testing at 10.3, 10.4, now 10.5. Definitely a pretty big improvement. So really happy about that. Hoping you guys enjoyed today's video on what the Tesla full self-drive is all about and how the new one is working out.